Big announcement from the EPA over the use of two cancer-causing solvents across the nation. The agency banning TCE, used as an industrial degreaser, and PCE, often used in dry cleaning. These toxic chemicals were present at Camp Lejeune when hundreds of thousands of soldiers were exposed to the contaminated drinking water. And that includes retired Marine Corps Master Sergeant Jerry Ensminger. You're looking at his daughter, Janie, who was conceived at the base. She died at 9 years old from leukemia. He is calling for greater changes at the EPA, demanding they do more to protect Americans nationwide. And he says, quote, "There exists a long history of political interference supported by industry of blocking the EPA's ability to protect the environment and public health. The future of our children and the health of our country vastly outweighs the needs of the almighty dollar." And retired Marine Corps Master Sergeant Jerry Ensminger joins us now, along with Mike Partian, who was born at Camp Lejeune and diagnosed with breast cancer in 2007 at the age of 39. It's an honor to speak with both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Natasha.
Glad to be here.
We just had on Peter Romano last night, a Marine Corps veteran who served for 2 years at Camp Lejeune. He developed testicular cancer when he was just 22 years old. This is just one of the memories that he shared with us about his time there. Let's take a listen.
I remember vividly going to the water fountain. You knew it was cold water. You put it in your canteen, you were good for the day. And it was poison the entire time.
I want to ask both of you about what you experienced there. Jerry, can we start with you? Tell me a little bit about Janie. Tell me about how this impacted your family.
Well, Janie was exposed mainly in utero. And when Janie was 6 years old, she was diagnosed with the leukemia. She fought a very valiant fight for a little over 2 years before she finally passed away. And, you know, anytime you have a child that's diagnosed with a long-term catastrophic illness, whenever you have a chance after the diagnosis and getting the child to a diagnosis or to a treatment facility, and you have a chance to sit down and gather your thoughts, well, the first question that comes to any parent's mind is why? And that's a question that you never really think you're going to get an answer to. And, you know, Janie was diagnosed in 83. And it wasn't until August of 1997 when the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, better known as ATSDR, came out with their public health assessment for Camp Lejeune. And just by chance, I had retired in the same TV market as Camp Lejeune in 1994. And I heard it on the evening news when ATSDR released their public health assessment for Camp Lejeune. And the fact that they wanted to do further studies at Camp Lejeune for birth defects and childhood cancers. Yeah. And it was like, all of a sudden, I had a glimmer of hope that I was going to have an answer to that question that had nagged me by that time for 14 and a half years.
14 and a half years, and still all of these years later that we're talking about this ban coming into place. Mike, I want to get you in here as well. And specifically, I want to bring up a photo of you as a baby. Can you explain to us very briefly what is in the foreground of that image? Why is it so important?
Yeah, that photo was taken the day that I was born at the Camp Lejeune Naval Hospital. And, you know, my parents arrived at Lejeune in early '67. I was conceived, carried, and born on the base. When you look down in the lower left-hand corner on the screen, you'll see on the stand next to my mom's hospital bed a glass of water and also a formula bottle made with water from the Had-Not Point water treatment system, which was the worst contaminated system aboard the base.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.